Here's another story that kind of goes with the cow country area. And again, I'm not sure about this one either. It could be true. It's called, for one thing, it has a moral to it, and that's always a good thing. It's called Treat Everyone Equal. My old pappy once told me a tale years ago about a cow camp he knew of in South Idaho with a camp cook that all of the cowboys called Wong. And although they is good boys, they treated him wrong. I suppose it was partly because of his race. He was different from them with his round yellow face and his brown almond eyes and his hair a pigtail. So they failed in the same way that most of us fail. In their minds they had classified him as a chink, but each man is a person, I can't help but think. Yet they'd drink of his coffee and wolf down his chow at the same time forgetting he's human somehow. So I asked my old pappy, now why should this be? And he says, I don't know, it's a mystery to me. I treat everyone equal, that's all I can say, and somehow I just know in the end it'll pay. To get on with the story, those cowboys had fun, and forever they had poor old Wong on the run. They would ride into camp, have a couple of shots, and then approach Wong mid his pans and his pots, and they'd pull on his pigtail and call him a fool. While he peeled the potatoes, they'd kick his wood stool out from under the feller and stand there and smirk, and he'd pick himself up and go on with his work. Well, one night they was camped near a sizable town. It was peaceful and calm, and the herds settled down, and the moon's a full globe in the sky to the east, as the boys ride to town for a real drinking feast. So they drank all the whiskey there was to be found, and they sported and gambled. The moon was still round when they headed for camp, but the moon's in the west, and none of those cowboys is feeling his best, 'cause they all got to thinking about little old Wong and the ways that they'd treated the poor man so wrong. Now by this time they're off on a real crying jag, and appoint Jimmy Jones, half asleep on his nag, to awake little Wong when they get back to camp and apologize roundly. Their eyes are all damp as their spokesman wakes Wong, still a bit sleepy-eyed, as he takes this strange turn of events in his stride. Now the tears are a-flowing from Jim's drunken eyes as he works out the best way to apologize to their new little friend that they now hold so dear. So old Jimmy says, Wong, we just want to make clear that from now on you're one of us. Keep it in mind that we won't ever never be nothing but kind, and we won't pull your pigtail or call you a fool or kick out from under you that wooden stool. Then says Wong, quite composed, I believe you, my friend, so I never pee in the coffee again. Well, I've taken a page from my old pappy's book. Treat everyone equal, especially the cook.